told Allah one day, give us the teaching of Marcus Garvey.
In Africa, we felt that we were less only because the colonial masters used religion and said that when you die, you will go up to heaven. And everything in heaven was white, including the guy that ran heaven. He was white, and when you died, you were going to go up there and be with someone white. So it produced an inferior kind of complex. So you thought that the white man did everything right. Brian, you don't feel bad if I talk about this, you all right? you felt that they did everything right. So you wanted to be like them. And this is how they came and imposed on you their system of government that you think is so great, the Westminster democracy. And in Cote d'Ivoire, you can see what it did right there. It was corrupt. They wanted a man out of power. They wanted another man in power that they felt was more pliant to their ideas. So what do? They promote him. They promote him as the savior of Cote d'Ivoire. They don't tell you that there's maybe 30,000 Ivorians in Ghana. And I don't know how many are in the other countries. 30,000. It's no small number now. And the brother said it's more than that. And they're living there. Why don't they go back home, being that they have democracy? But there's something wrong that those people would say, I would rather be outside of the country than to go back and suffer. I met with the youth. These are young brothers who they don't have stale, old, tired ideas, and they know what happened in that country was wrong, and it was because the imperial powers determined there's oil off the coast of Cote d'Ivoire. The country is extremely rich. When the coffee went down in Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire became the real producers of coffee for the entire world. But they needed a man who could be their boy. And if you got a man who's not their boy, then they seek to destroy him, as you saw with Muammar Gaddafi. Yes, even Charles Taylor. Charles Taylor told me out of his mouth, I've known him for a long time. Charles Taylor said that what's wrong with the Americans and the Europeans, they want you to be their boy. They want you to do what they tell you to do. They threaten you with aid and everything else. You're not going to get this kind of help. And you got to be their boy and do exactly what they want you to do. Then you're going to be all right. If you don't, then we're going to get rid of you. The oil that they will be pulling off the coast of Cote d'Ivoire in a few days. See, that's the big plan in the future, is the oil in Cote d'Ivoire. We cannot effectively get this oil if we got a man in power that won't play ball with us. So Gbagbo got to go. This is what you're faced with. We had planned a big rally on the anniversary of the day that they took Gbagbo, President Gbagbo. And we got the National Theater holds about 1,500 people. I was to speak and some other speakers. And then late that night, I get a call that the government of Ghana canceled the meeting. And the place would have been packed with well over 1,500. Don't forget, I had a figure of nearly 30,000 refugees in Ghana, and they say there's more because everybody that came did not register with the Ghana government because the information may leak back to Cote d'Ivoire and they will send agents in to get those individuals. But it was interesting that the Ghana government that has shown they lean towards Gbagbo had taken a position. And so when I questioned why did they take this position and cancel the meeting that would have made an impact, the press and everything was there, it would have made an impact to say that this amount of refugees have left Cote d'Ivoire, but they're in Burkina Faso, they're in Liberia, and they are scattered, even some in Benin and Togo. And it would heighten the awareness that there was a problem in Cote d'Ivoire, but meanwhile, the government is trying to make everything come back, businesses, regular people are doing well, and they're using that in many of the African magazine and overseas magazines, because as you know, Akbar is the chairman of the ECOWAS right now. And yet and still this is going on in the country. So I found out the brothers gave me a good political education about the elections and what happened in the elections. the people that were killed, what happened with the shooting in the street, and the soldiers that came in took a position with, am I saying his name right? Ottawa, right? Ouattara. Took a position with him. And I just wrote a note down. The real plan was, if they didn't get him in, was to split the country up and make it appear it was Northerners against Southerners, make it appear that it was Islam against non-Islamic people. They were going to push that idea if they didn't get him in power. And it was very clear to me, with the cocoa and the oil getting ready to come online, that this is what they had in mind to do. So the brothers gave me a good political education. And one thing I learned, I have to say, from Minister Farrakhan, he said, in order to be a good teacher, you have to be a good listener. And if you don't have the patience to listen, you don't know where the other people are at. So I went to school. For those hours that I spent with the brothers, we met 3 different times. I met with the senior members first, and then I met with the youth. So I thank you for arranging it, Leo.
What the Indian government give you as a
They said, good question. They said that they did not want to rupture relations with another friendly African country, and they felt that this meeting, the outcome of this meeting would maybe hamper their relation with the government that is the chair of ECOWAS this particular year. That's what they said. I want to thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I want you to stand up and give a round of applause to Minister Akbar Muhammad. Thank you.